Okay, welcome to your Google Classroom. I'm going to use this screencast to sort of walk you through this user interview assignment in case you are slightly confused. So, you've logged into Google Classroom. In this case, I'm using Rose again because she's not here. You see your classroom. You can see upcoming assignments. Here's a user interview assignment. So, click on the classroom. This opens up the stream. You can see, here's the assignment, user interview assignment, individual turn-in. That means each person, even though you're in groups, each person in your group is going to be turning in their own assignment because you're interviewing people and you probably will not interview the same people or shouldn't interview the same people. So you'll carefully read the instructions about to truly understand a design problem. You need to empathize with the users. Who's going to be using it? Try and see the world through their eyes. What do they know about it? What opinions do they have? How can you make the game better? So there's a point in this assignment where you'll talk a little bit in your group about who you might want to, what user groups you might want to target. That could be somebody like 7th graders, or it could be parents, could be younger kids, but we want to still make sure that you're getting the content you're supposed to. So remember, you're still supposed to include everything from our circulation and respiration systems. So you'll decide who your user groups are. Then you will open the assignment. Make sure you're using instructions or your work. So sometimes if you can't open it, you're on the instructions part. So this should have your name. Don't turn it in yet because you haven't done anything. So you open the assignment. You won't see that. So here's the assignment. And the instructions are really, hopefully, pretty clear. So it gives you the difference or what a user actually is. Then here's your instructions. First, determine your potential user categories. So these are big, broad categories that you'll use to sort of help define your users. So for example, gender, boys or girls, and age, most games have an age designation, 8 and up, that kind of thing. So you'll decide on who your user groups might be. Then second, you'll determine which groups you personally are going to collect information from to bring back to your team and the class. Third, you're going to interview some people and record their responses. And then finally, you're going to turn it in through Google Classroom. So the first question, user categories. What groups could be potential users of your educational board game? List at least 3 potential groups. Can you do more? Yes, but at least 3. So who are 3 people that might be potential users of your game? So you could say 7th grade science students. That might be 1. You might want your game to target 8th grade students that are reviewing for state test, and maybe there's some other group that you want to target your game towards, or that you think might be users of your game, and then there I'll give you a score. So this is like super duper easy. Second, you personally are going to choose one of the 3 potential groups you listed above. So one of these 3 from up here, you're going to choose. I'm going to interview people from this group. So I decide, or Rose here decides, she's going to interview 8th grade students to see if this game might help them review. So okay, I'll give you a score. So far, easy peasy. Then you're going to interview someone from the categories you listed above. I've already said I'm going to interview 8th graders. So I need to interview them and record their responses. Now you might want to write these questions down somewhere because you're not going to take the iPads out of the class and go interview people, or you might be interviewing someone at home. So you do need to get the responses here into Google Classroom. So that's why it's not due until Tuesday. So what makes a board game enjoyable to you? Team play or individual play? Why? And this why part is important. We want to know why they think that, because that's going to help us make our game. So you write their response here. They say something, something, something. And let's say my person really enjoys team play because I don't get all of the blame when we lose, but I also like to make decisions with a group. Maybe they say it's fun to play with different people each time. Something like that. So there's their response. Then you move to question 2. Do you prefer games where there's a lot of strategy, a lot of luck, or a mix of both? Explain your thinking. So whatever their answer, we still want to know why they think that. So make sure that's in your answer. Then the third question, in your opinion, what makes for an interesting board game? This is really wide open, so ask them what makes for an interesting board game. You'll probably get an interesting variety that will help us make some choices about what your game's going to do. Then the last question, in your opinion, what makes you not want to play a particular board game? So we've talked a little in class about what makes games less interesting or less fun, but we want to get information from the outside. And remember, this happens to be from an 8th grade person, so whatever their answer is, I would write. If you're interviewing a parent or a teacher or another student, you would get their answer in here. So let's say you're done, you got all their answers, you're happy. Okay. So double check, make sure everything's okay, I'm good. You'll go back to your Google Classroom, and if you think you're done, you'll turn it in. Make sure that's you. Turn in, maybe I say, this was interesting. I got answers I did not expect. Then turn in, and you don't have to put a comment here. Turn it in. Make sure that it says done up here. And now you are good. If you have extra time, you'll go back to your Google Classroom and there will be some other resources for you to review by the time you see this video. So thank you very much, and we will look forward to your answers because we're going to share them as a class in the next assignment. Thank you.